Jackson Wang once told Entertainment Weekly, "I hope one day I can connect the East and the West as a bridge, and the bridge he's constructed so far is as solid as a rock." From K-pop and GOT7 to an endless list of brand partnerships, the former youth Olympic fencer from Hong Kong has grown into a dominating force and become a true magic man of the entertainment industry. What's up, friends? I'm Jonathan Miller, and welcome back to Jonathan Miller Music, where we help each other become better artists. Jackson Wang has so many hyphens next to his name, it's nearly impossible to keep track of. Originally from Kowloon, Hong Kong, Jackson was born into an athletic family. His father was on China's national fencing team, winning gold at the 1978 Asian Games in Thailand, and even competed as an Olympic athlete at the 1984 Olympic Games in Los Angeles and the 1988 Olympic Games in Seoul. His mother, Sophia Chow, was also an Olympic gymnast from Shanghai in the 80s, so the drive for success literally runs through Jackson's veins. Did you know Jackson Wang actually started out as a saber fencer, much like his father? If you're unfamiliar, fencing is a group of 3 combat sports, foil, épée, and saber, that can be traced back to the 1300s in Germany and Italy and began as a development of swordsmanship for duels. It was further evolved into a sport in the mid-18th century by Domenico Angelo, who established essential rules for posture and footwork. The more organized version that we know today began at the end of the 19th century and has been a part of the Olympic Games since around that time. Jackson began fencing at age 10, coached by his father. He competed at the first Youth Olympic Games in Singapore in 2010, narrowly losing to his Russian opponent by 1 point. At 16 years old, he competed at the youth Olympic level in saber fencing on Hong Kong's official junior team, where he eventually ranked 11th in the world in junior saber. Although busy training, Jackson said his father was not a demanding coach, but instead very supportive. If Jackson won something, his dad would give all the credit to Jackson, but if he lost, he would look inward at his coaching and reevaluate how to best help Jackson further. In 2012, while Jackson was preparing for the London Olympics, he was even offered a scholarship to Stanford University, a highly prestigious and difficult to get into school in the United States. But Jackson had another passion burning in his heart, which was about to be set ablaze when a JYP talent scout spotted Jackson while playing basketball with his friends. Did you know, Jackson originally decided to join JYP because he thought it was home to Big Bang, who unfortunately for him actually resided at YG. Still, despite this, Jackson placed first out of 2,000 people and ended up training at JYP for 3 years. Between fencing, gymnastics, and now dancing and learning languages as a fluent speaker of Cantonese, Mandarin, Korean, and English, Jackson showed early on that his skill set didn't have many limits. GOT7 was the first new boy group from JYP since 2PM and eventually became the first act from JYP to sell over 100,000 albums in one day with their album Call My Name. Following his inclusion in the Who Is Next competition, Mark, Bam Bam, Yoongyum, Jinyoung, Youngjae, JB, and Jackson debuted as GOT7 in January 2014, standing out among boy groups as K-pop's third generation began to take shape by including martial arts tricking and b-boying, which is an athletic style of street dancing stemming from Black and Puerto Rican communities in the US. To create complex choreography, GOT7's first mini album reached #1 on the Billboard World Albums chart. GOT7 is popular not only within South Korea, but also internationally. They had their own web series, Dream Night, and occasionally performed cover songs too, which you can do with DistroKid. The holidays are finally upon us, if you can believe it, which means what's about to flood Spotify and the radio? Covers of your favorite holiday classics. You may even want to drop your own rendition of a holiday favorite. Now, cover songs require a lot of legal work normally to get clearance, but there's actually now an easier and more affordable way of going about things. That's where DistroKid comes in. DistroKid is one of the leading music distribution platforms for independent artists, helping people like you and me get our music up on digital platforms like TikTok, Spotify, YouTube, and Apple Music. Writing an original holiday song is great, but it does take some time to do. So if you're itching to drop a new song, a cover is a great way to do so. What's wonderful about DistroKid is they handle all of the licensing for you so that you can just focus on getting your song to be the best it can be and into the ears of your fans. Now, licenses renew annually and can normally be very expensive, but for DistroKid members, this service is only $12 a year, which makes getting your new holiday rendition a lot more affordable both right now and in the long run. So use my special VIP link to save yourself 7% on your first year's membership with DistroKid. Link is in the description. GOT7 has won over 50 awards, including but not limited to Artist of the Year at the 2018 Asia Artist Awards, World Hallyu Star at the Gaon Now Circle Chart Music Awards, the Disc Bone Song at the 2021 Golden Disc Awards, and even won Best Worldwide Act at the MTV European Music Awards in 2016, becoming only the second K-pop act ever to do so following Big Bang in 2011. They're the first K-pop group to guest and perform on NBC's The Today Show, and the first JYP group to be nominated for a Billboard Music Award in the USA. They've held multiple successful world tours. They were also the first K-pop group to hold a 4-city tour in Thailand, which sold out. GOT7 eventually became known for writing and producing their own music, which at the time for K-pop wasn't as common as it is today, with hits like Just Right, Laugh Laugh Laugh, and Fly, the latter of which made them the first Korean act to chart on Billboard's Artist 100 since Psy. The boy group has sold nearly 4 million albums to date and is the first JYP boy group to even sell 2 million albums. After becoming the first JYP group to reach #1 on the US iTunes chart, become the first K-pop group to perform at Brooklyn's Barclays Center, win a Daesung at the Asia Artist Awards for Performance of the Year, and so much more, Jackson and the boys of GOT7 decided not to renew their contracts with JYP in 2021. Luckily, they joined Warner Music Korea and dropped their self-titled EP with a new logo and managed to top the iTunes chart in over 90 countries with their self-titled EP, a testament to the possibilities for K-pop groups to continue on successfully post-agency. And a fun surprise for Agases as the members were pursuing their own interests, especially as Jackson in particular continued to grow. As a solo artist, Jackson Wang is one of the most successful people to come from K-pop. Providing representation for both China and Hong Kong during the early days of GOT7, Jackson's popularity in China began to soar quickly. After writing the theme song for Chinese show Go Fridge, becoming an MC for Fresh Sunday on Hunan TV, and appearing on multiple variety shows, and dropping some solo songs, Jackson established Team Wang, a dedicated management team and international record label in conjunction with Snaker the Rabbit, a USA distribution company. He also established his own studio in China to foster his growing popularity there too. Jackson, as I previously mentioned, is a polyglot, meaning he can speak multiple languages at varying proficiencies, including but not limited to English, Cantonese, Mandarin, Shanghainese, Japanese, Korean, and French. As a child, he attended Hong Kong International School where he learned English, which has since helped Jackson in international markets tremendously. His first English language single, Papillon, which means butterfly in French, debuted at #1 on Billboard China's V chart. He became the first Chinese solo artist to top the iTunes singles chart and iTunes pop charts in the US with Dawn of Us in 2018. Mirrors, Jackson's debut album, became the highest charting album for a Chinese artist at the time on the Billboard 200 in 2019. Dealing with subjects like inner demons, fears, passions, and love, the album saw Jackson involved in every aspect of its creation, from packaging to its lyrics, to productions, music video shoots, and more. His 2020 hit 100 Ways fused Chinese and Western styles, helping Jackson to become the first Chinese and K-pop star to debut on Mediabase's Top 40 radio chart. As Jackson's music career developed, so did his other business ventures. In 2018, he was made the envoy of Hong Kong tourism. His wax figure was announced that same year for Madame Tussauds Hong Kong. Team Wang evolved to launch Team Wang Design, a fashion brand that Jackson serves as both a designer and creative director for. He collaborated with Fendi for the capsule collection, which sold out immediately after launch. He has since been endorsed by and has collaborated with multiple brands, even investing in esports team Team Victory 5. Ranking in the top 10 on Forbes China's Celebrity 100 list, Jackson also formed a 4-member hip-hop group Pan the Pack under Team Wang. In collaboration with 88 Rising, an American music company that acts as a record label, video production agency, and marketing company for Asian and Asian American artists, Jackson historically became the first Chinese solo artist to perform at Coachella in Los Angeles in 2022. That same year, he became the opening act at League of Legends Worlds 2022, putting himself, his brand, and his music in front of new audiences. "Don't lose the fun in making art," is something Jackson once said. For a multi-talented artist who has been consistently busy from the start, Jackson has also opened up about his health and mental health struggles. During his time with GOT7 in 2017, Jackson was routinely flying from country to country country so often that eventually he collapsed on stage and was so sick he couldn't participate in the high touch and photo op with fans. Jackson said he didn't like to talk to others about his problems so as not to bother them, but this led to a myriad of issues that eventually prevented him from participating in GOT7's Japanese activities. A few years later, he got so burnt out he re-recorded his entire second album, delaying its release. Fortunately, Magic Man did finally see the light of day in September 2022. Jackson said the album is the ultimate form of myself and lyrically explores the journey and exploration of oneself. Incorporating elements of grunge, rock, pop, and more, Jackson's mental health struggles drive the voyage of atypical sounds and themes throughout the record. The album reached number 15 on the Billboard 200, earning him his highest chart position. Magic Man also topped the iTunes Top Albums chart in 36 different countries as well. For a multi-talented person, Magic Man certainly is an apropos title. Jackson Wang has won over 30 plus awards, written and produced and arranged multiple musical pieces for himself, his group, and other artists like Rain. He was not trained at JYP as a vocalist, but took vocal lessons on his own to push the limits of what he could do. He joined the Asian American dance crew Kinjaz, performing with them several times. Beyond business, Jackson is also known to be one of the friendliest and most outgoing people in the K-pop industry by fans, celebrities, and Team Wang staff alike, often encouraging people around him to be honest and truthful, especially when it comes to his art. Jackson Wang might not be a fencer anymore, but the champion fencer within him never died. The youth Olympian of Hong Kong grew up into a savvy businessman worldwide, constantly pushing past the barriers of his own talent and evolving into something even greater. Jackson also consistently pays homage to his roots through tattoos, social media handles, music video settings, and more. The question, who is Jackson Wang, can't be answered with a simple few job occupation titles because he's more than a K-pop star or musician. Jackson Wang is truly an artist inside and out, inspiring others, should they receive similar opportunities, on how to expand their businesses, push past their own limitations, and instead see limitless possibilities, even beyond the borders of our own countries. Jackson once said, "I hope one day I can connect the East and the West as a bridge." Well, with a blueprint like the one he's drawn up so far, there's nothing the real Magic Man himself, Jackson Wang, can't do.